All right, welcome to another week of franchise league updates where we go over every team, realize how shit most of our teams are. Um, I lied last week. I do bring shitters onto the show, um, mostly out of desperation. I didn't want to just talk to myself again. Um, but hey, if Kenny keeps being the shitter, I'm kind of okay having him here. So keep that rolling. So as we start looking at last week, we always get to start off with me. I like to talk shit about my own team first, and we did what we normally do. We put up 130 and hoped to goddamn that the other team doesn't, and it didn't work out. Uh,
Your quarterback decided to come back down to earth and stop scoring 20 points for no reason.
hey, Carson Wentz is the future. It's just one bad game. He'll be fine next week. Trust me. I still got a couple more years to pay him, so he better be good. But I mean, Najee's still. I mean, that offense is kind of bad. Uh, Turns out Matt
Wait,
Canada is.
you mean to tell me Mitch Trubisky isn't good?
I'm not saying it's a Mitch Trubisky problem. I'm saying it might be a Matt Canada problem, and I'm becoming more and more sure about that as time goes on, that it's a Matt Canada problem. But um, yeah, it's a thing. Jamal Williams, I'd rather not start anybody from Denver or New England on my roster until one of them gets hurt. That'd be really
Javante,
slow. Mm-hmm.
you said Jamal. Jamal
Jamal,
Williams is probably going to look pretty
that's
good next week if Swift is out.
Jamal. I would have really been happy with Jamal Williams this week. Um,
You would have won.
just for a 1 week swap that would have been really great. Chase and
Whoever's got
Higgins.
Jamal Williams, Austin apparently thinks they're interchangeable. Hit him up for a trade. I don't know. Is he on a 1 year contract? I don't know.
Has to be, right? Has to be, surely. So, I mean, he's there. Chase and Higgins did the normal thing where I get about 15 points apiece out of them. Um, but I can't start just one because that's the week the other one goes for 50. So there, Deontay's doing things. Goddard's fine. Henry showed up. There's hope. My highest paid player isn't the worst player on my team. And then Mariota showed up decently this week. So we're there. I mean, James' team, Lamar carried everyone. AJ Brown kept doing AJ Brown things. Diggs had a down game at 15 points. You know, so Lamar Jackson happened. That kind of did me in, but yeah, we're not
Duvernay
looking.
is actually looking consistent more than I expected.
I mean, if consistent is I catch two passes and get a touchdown, and was it last week? It was a kick return for a touchdown, not an
Hey,
actual
man,
passing touch.
double digits or double digits. I don't really care how the guy scores it.
It's funny because you told me you shit on me last year for running Javante Williams, saying all I want is 10 points
Uh,
and I'm happy.
Actually, this no, he didn't get a touch. It doesn't say he had a touchdown, but the
Duvernay.
points are there that he had a touchdown.
I
He
think
had a
that
kick
was his
return
kick
for
return touchdown.
103 yards, but it doesn't have it scored in the kick return
Mm.
category. But
So I mean,
for Duvernay, who I thought absolutely nothing of coming into the year, if he's going to score 10 points every week, that's a win for James.
yeah, Geno Smith. Apparently, they like to throw the ball 44 times once Russ leaves, which seems like a great game plan. Um, Fuck that guy, I guess. And then maybe they were right because I've seen Russ Wilson play this year and it's not good. Have fun watching that the rest of the year, Cholo. So, I mean, Jacobs is on his bench but was injured. He was sick all week, so he didn't know. But I mean, Dubes. I mean, this talking about somebody who might be one of the highest value players right now in the league. 4 years of Dubes with Aaron Rodgers there. And no one else at wide receiver. Um, I don't want to know the price, but it's pretty damn high. I I don't know. If I had him, I don't think I'm selling him for less than a first. Yeah, almost 4 years. Aaron Rodgers number one target. Some hype.
I might, but I don't. I might sell him for a first, but I don't trust him to be the number one.
Right, and that's the big question
They had,
is,
they had like three receivers out that game still.
yeah. I mean, he looked good, but are you gonna pay for the hype and the 3/4 of the ceiling, and risking that his floor is, uh, you know,
Cut next year.
yeah, the the wrong St. Brown. you, you might be the good St. Brown, you might be the bad St. Brown. Which side of the family are you hoping it ends up on, and what are you willing to pay for? So, I mean, we'll see what James. I mean, as we talked about, James is there, 2-1. That's a good start for him. Going down, Jody's team once again kind of lays an egg here. Just not a good look for a championship team. Put up 107. Although I'm sure you might be thrilled with 107 with how your teams have played the last couple of weeks. But um, Devontae with only 14 points, and that's with a touchdown. Gibson's fallen off. Cook got hurt. What does that mean for him with his nagging, dislocated shoulder? Mahomes was all right. Williams, you would have hoped to be a
Pitts
little better.
Pitts with the bounce back game at least after two back-to-back 3.9 point performances.
It's pretty bad when we're calling a 13-point play a bounce back week, but
hey, at the end of the day, it's a tight end, okay?
So
the goal for a tight end, if you don't have Kelsey, is like Kelsey or Andrews, is get me double-digit points, so you're not just a waste of a roster spot.
Cousins all right. Dillon wasn't his game. I mean, it's gonna be kind of the story of the Green Bay running backs. Is how does everything go with them? And you play Tampa.
Wasn't really a Jones game either. It was just
No.
Tampa's Tampa.
I mean, it was a Packers have 2 drives and do shit the rest of the game.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, his bench. I mean, he just lost Sterling Shepard for the year. But I mean, KJ Osborne, is that the guy you want to count on? Probably not. You just kind of look at the rest of it. Maybe Palmer, but once Keenan Allen is back, I don't know if he's do it. But Njoku, maybe.
If teams are gonna just funnel on Jefferson as hard as they have been, Osborne might actually be legit if they're just dedicating 2 guys to Jefferson the whole game.
I mean, Njoku,
he gets chances.
I mean, if he keeps growing the way he is, that should be about a 25-point, so it's a 50-point week next week against Atlanta. So, I mean, we'll see if Jody can rebound, but so far, had a good week 1, and then since then it's been a little rough. So, I'm not going to count him out, but it's not looking as rosy as it was week 1 when he beat me. But I'm bad, so it makes sense. You look at Tyler team, once again, 140, solid score. That was a Swift being injured. What does that look like the next couple weeks and everything?
Brady should get his receivers back.
That can't
Evans comes off suspension. Julio.
Barkley with another solid week here, 22 points. Looking like that second round pick for him might have been a pretty worthwhile trade. Waddle with a pedestrian 15 points, but he did have a dude with a concussion throwing him the ball for most of the game, so what can you really expect?
No, man, his back hurts.
I'm sure it was his back. I'd like to follow. I fall over like I'm drunk when I have back injury too. It's fine. See, Lamb coming out. Cooper Rush.
As a Cowboys fan, that Lamb catch was ridiculous. There's actually 2 this week. You had the Lamb catch in the end zone, and then the Pickens catch on Sunday.
It's true.
There's some nutty catches.
Waller doing not much. Robinson going well. How do you feel about that as an Etienne owner? Feel they're great? It's awesome. Love it.
Yeah, I'd like my lead running back to start the year to actually be the lead running back.
Drake London looking like, I mean, there's some competition for these rookie wide receivers with Olave, London, Garrett Wilson. Turns out we might have had a couple stars. Rodgers, another kind of pedestrian day. Mac Jones, you just lost him for a while. Wilson's only been okay. You want to see that do better. As the lead running back there. Every other person with a pulse gets 20 points a game for him, but Jeff Wilson can't. Lazard 14. Devontae Smith went off. Does that keep up? I don't know. They played Washington. I don't think that says much. Dotson calmed down. Hawkinson finally got a touchdown, but 18 yards. Fant mediocre. So, I mean, but hey, Mooney caught 2 balls. That like doubles his season total. So that's not bad.
Hey man, wait. Let me hold on. We got a stat check here. Hold on. Next gen stats.
Oh man, he had 1 catch that first week. Yeah, so he doubled it.
All right.
2 to 4.
Justin Fields still leading the league in time between snap and throwing the ball or pressure.
We're not the Luke yet. Calm down. We're
Hey,
not the
that's
Luke's winning team this week. We should
hey
add.
man, that's Mooney's shit right there, man.
We look. T Wells gets his first one of the year over Cholo. Just want to point out that literally anyone with a pulse other than Keenan Allen wins this week. Uh, Perine, Juju, Ayuk, literally anyone gets the win. Instead, Cholo goes to 0-3. Burrow with another week, giving more hope that week one Burrow was not Burrow of the year. Edmonds got it done in the end zone, but not a whole lot other than that. Kamara still looking like maybe the worst contract in the league, dollar for dollar right now. Bateman, another mediocre week. He looked like he was kind of going to break out 13, 20, and now back down to 5. But so far, so good. Sutton with 17 is a good sign. I mean, you got Hayden Hurst. What do you expect? Connor, not a ton. Trevor Lawrence, though, finally breaking out year 2, looking like he might actually be a pretty solid quarterback, at least in fantasy. You got some other players in Juju, like I said, Juju and Ayuk had decent games that would have won. Sky Moore looking like that's not the right choice. Tony also not. You play? Yeah.
Negative points are good, right?
Yeah,
It means
so
they
he
get
didn't play, so
subtracted
that
from
feels
the
better.
opponent, right?
Yeah, that's how that works. So, I mean, I don't know where Cholo doesn't have much on the bench to get better. I mean, you max out this roster and you're at what, 120? It's still rough right now. So, we'll see. I know we still got hope to turn it around and it's still early, but I'm gonna write
Keenan
him
Allen
off.
allegedly coming back helps some, but they're still just not.
Yeah, I don't see it. Doesn't mean it can't happen. Fantasy football's
Kamara,
weird.
Kamara, Allen, Sutton, and then it gets kind of iffy
You got T Wells with
unless
his
Juju consistently becomes the guy
right, which
for
doesn't seem
Mahomes.
like the
But
thing.
he seems to be spreading it around pretty good.
Look over at T Wells. Carr had a decent week. Sanders, that's rough. Pierce had a good week. Finally, kind of balled out a little bit. Everyone's kind of okay. Kelsey had another Kelsey week. Debo's okay. Curtis Samuel looking great off the waiver wire with 13 points. You know, Tua, I mean, he had a concussion. I mean, back injury. Definitely back injury. Tannehill finally pulled his head out of his ass and scored more than 5 points, it seems. Now that I said that, it'll actually be more than that. But Jamal Williams had a big game. I mean, he's in line to be a star in the next couple of weeks if what's his name is out, if Swift is out. So
Swift.
we'll see. That
There's
I
a
may not want to
one-year,
play T
$3
Wells.
contract.
I may not want to play T Wells in the next couple of weeks if Jamal Williams keeps playing like that. Dobbins back, can't hurt. Probably ease him back. Zay Jones. Um, if I do play you, I welcome you to start Zay Jones against me. I'm gonna take my chances there. I'm not too worried about the guy that's bombed out of 3 different places. That's 2, but whatever, it's close enough. Chenault had the long touchdown to make that night scoreline look good. Brait was alright. Tunyon's alright. So, I mean, I'm still not assuming T. Will's gonna make the semis by any means, but there's the chance he can make the semi or the playoffs. But I mean, you did score 112. It's not exactly a winning score week in and week out. So we'll see. But it's a start. It's all you can really hope for.
The irony of him losing with 143 and 132 and then winning with 112.
I know how that works. I've been there before. I mean, Steven keeps rolling along, another 146, putting up big points. Hurts goes off. Chubb with a good week, mixing a little down, but he's not really operating top speed this year, it seems. Good week. McLaurin happened to have a good week.
That whole Bengals offense isn't really operating at top speed. Like Burrow bounced back a little bit, but it's still.
Yeah,
it doesn't look like the Bengals that went to the Super Bowl.
No, I need 40-point Chase back really fast. Patterson with another big week. CEH. Tyler Boyd had his big touchdown. Yeah, I mean, I'm still not going to count on that, but so I mean, he's still popping off, but I mean, you look at a whole lot of lack of points. Isaiah McKenzie once again, 20-point week. Noah Brown did decent here, so Ertz. So he's got a couple options on depth that's looking a little bit better, but a few injuries and he's still hurt. But for now, I'd like to avoid this team for quite a while. And Jimmy kind of, solid week, just not good enough when the other team shows up. So Allen showed up. Eckler was all right. Aaron Jones didn't do anything. Tyreek Hill didn't do anything. Lockett was all right. Mark Andrews was what we all thought Mark Andrews was preseason, which is just a beast. 8 for 13, 89, and 2 touchdowns is pretty good. Adam Thielen finally makes an appearance here. 2 sub 10-point weeks now here. DJ Moore is the reality of the DJ Moore we all know, but everyone wants more. And then Stafford is a pedestrian. I'll give you a third for him right now, Jimmy. I promise. Get that 10-point guy off your team. Matt Ryan, it's kind of, McKissick. That's my boy. But I mean, same thing here. There's not a whole lot of great points being put up. You get decent tight ends for 10 points, but you really need Godwin to step back up and be another option in here for. I mean, you're never going to bench Eckler, Jones, Hill, Andrews, but get another option in there for Lockett and Thielen and Moore would be pretty helpful. So Godwin was big to get back.
Especially as bye weeks start coming up in the next couple weeks.
And then finally, my favorite game, the shittiest team in the league gets beat by Luke. I mean, Wilson's been god awful. Taylor just
Hey, at least they realized. I'm amazed they figured out finally. Maybe we shouldn't give 10 touches to Jonathan Taylor in a game. It might help our odds to win.
I mean, they won. I mean, you figure Taylor's going to get in the end zone in future games. 18-point week, you're pretty happy with 20 out of them. Breece Hall doing his J.D. McKissick impression with 6 receptions to boost his stuff. But what does that look like with Zach Wilson back? We're going to find out next week. Justin Jefferson.
I like double-digit target Breece Hall.
Justin Jefferson doing his quick, I'm going to keep an average points up high because I put up 40 in the first week, but it's been pretty rough owning me type of thing here. Pittman, another solid week. Kittle, still not the Kittle of old, but we'll see.
That game was ugly to watch.
Yeah.
Which I mean, it's two of like the top defenses in the NFL, I think, which is part of it. But
I mean, it could be worse. You could have Russell Wilson throwing to him, so there's at least hope. I liked Kittle a lot better with Garoppolo there than I did with Trey Lance, so that's at least a positive. Amari Cooper with another big week. Seems like the only guys that Jacoby Brissett knows how to throw to in Cleveland are Amari Cooper and Njoku, so we'll see.
I'm okay with that.
I'm not okay
especially
with that.
before Watson even comes back.
Right.
Until then, Watson decides he doesn't like Cooper, and then I'm sad.
Yeah, I'm like, David Bell is the answer, trust me. Garrett Wilson, another solid week for rookie. Winston's okay at 14, but I mean, you got an injured Winston, an injured Herbert. That's not good. Henderson didn't do much.
Do you want broken backs or broken rib cartilage?
I just like broken quarterbacks. Have you seen my team? Etienne puts up 10, but I mean, not really what you were hoping at the preseason. Walker and Penny are both awful so far, but at least Walker, you have hope. Become backup guys. You don't care much about of Robinson not getting anything. Apparently, just don't be a Bear wide receiver or former Bear wide receiver. It's just bad juju. DK had a good week, but I mean, can you trust that? Olave might be the best receiver on your team right now. Consistent.
Come on, Amari Cooper, man, he's outperforming. He's outperforming Olave.
You know how hard it is for me to say that a Browns wide receiver is your best option? I can't go that far.
How do you think I feel about it? I'm the guy that's normally stacked on running backs. After Jonathan Taylor, I think I have 7 receivers that are probably better than my next running back, unless Zach Wilson comes back and keeps Breece Hall is doing his J.D. McKissick impersonation with 11 targets.
Yeah, we'll see. So, I mean, there's a lot of question marks for you. We'll see. On Luke,
the other potentially painful part there is with my upcoming schedule. I could realistically start this season like 1-5, 1-6.
I think both of us can easily be like 2-6 come week 8. Very possible.
It's Steven, Jimmy, James, and then you all in a row here.
Yep. And Luke, I mean, so
It's
Luke didn't get much out of Kyler, who's been pretty haphazard this year. I mean, you knew you were going to get a shitty point. It was a free beta weekend for Modern Warfare, so anytime new Modern Warfare comes out, Kyler doesn't play worth shit. So um, everyone should know that was coming. That's a proven statistic at this point. Zeke, Zeke gets in the end zone, makes a decent week of it. David Montgomery, gets hurt. Can't fault him there. Um, we didn't even talk about my taxi squad running back with 30 points. So Luke, I'm not going to say I told you that Herbert, might be legit, but Montgomery can just retire. It's fine. Marquise Brown went off 14 for 140. Good lord. St. Brown with, another
I'm
decent
aware.
week.
Trust me, I'm aware of what Brown did.
That was great. Knox was okay. Russell Gage, as the only receiver with a pulse on that team, you know, had to do something. Kirk with 20 points. Justin Fields with 97 seconds per dropback still throws 2 interceptions and 106 yards. So I just want you all to know, I'm a firm believer that Tim Tebow is a better quarterback than Justin Fields. That's the end of my TED talk on Justin Fields. Thank you for watching. But I
It's
mean,
okay. He's just got half a second more to throw than any other quarterback in the NFL who started all 3 games and
yeah,
has less yards than,
it's
well,
pretty
less than 300 yards, which is normally what you consider
it's pretty
just
embarrassing.
a baseline passing game for a quarterback in the current NFL.
Well, are you talking about his season or a single game?
Season. His
Yeah.
season, he has 297 yards.
Meanwhile, we've got guys turn that up in a game. Yeah, no big deal. It's fine. I mean, Singletary with a big week. 9 receptions helps buoy that with 80 yards and a touchdown. Not much on the rushing. 13 yards rushing isn't great, but hey, I don't care how you get me points, just get them. Devontae Parker, big game. Nico Collins is doing all right down there. So Pickens looked great on that catch, although it doesn't translate to a ton of points. Cole Kmet, I think that was his first catch, right? Oh yeah, what do you know? Finally targeted more than once. Not that it means much in that offense, but so I mean he skates it out. It's still a little rough, to be highly competitive, but he's 2-1, so fantasy gods have been looking good. So who am I to say anything? I'm below
Do we
him in
need
the
to like
standings.
put in like a, they have like tight end premium for some leagues. Do we need to have like a Bears receiver tight end premium? Every catch they get's worth double because it's a
the Bears,
miracle that
the Bears
the ball
premium
made it to him.
might be that bad. We look at the standings. You got Tyler up in first in the North Division with James at 2-1. You got me and T Wells at 1-2, and Cholo back there 0-3. I mean, the noticeable thing is you got Flanner with 440 points. You look down to last place and Cholo at 315, who was a solid 35 points behind anyone in the league, 40 points behind anyone in the league.
Hi.
Yeah.
As
So
everyone predicted, I am that second to last place team.
yep, in the South, I mean, Steven doing what we thought. Luke not doing what we thought, but thought there was maybe the hope if everyone stayed healthy, which we'll see how he navigates what Montgomery does, or if he's actually going to miss games or not. Jimmy with, 440 points right there too is 1-2, but more of a bad luck 1-2 than, you know, he could easily be 3-0 with somebody else's schedule. Jody down there at 1-2 as well. Had the big win the first week, had a good week, and then has been kind of crap since then. So easily could be 0-3 if he had ran into a Jimmy or something week one rather than me. And then you down at 1-2, so that's a thing. But
Things get really interesting if I actually start like 1-6.
yeah, I mean, as we start looking at some of our trade options and stuff, it gets real interesting as you look at kind of the trade targets. And I mean, we can kind of start from the bottom. I mean, Cholo, I mean, unless he's going to go sell Burrow, I mean, Edmonds is getting play, you know, so I mean, that may be someone. I You couldn't pay me to take Kamara on. I mean, maybe if you're throwing me Burrow and uh, Trevor Lawrence in with it, maybe I'll take his contract and just eat it. It's not like I haven't done that before, but I I don't want that. You're not going to sell Bateman. You still got to be high on him. Maybe you sell Sutton. If somebody believes in Russell Wilson, you can get something, or if hope he turns it around and sell him at the deadline. But I mean, other than that, Keenan Allen, I guess you can turn around and sell. Connor, if somebody believes in him, but some of the teams buying, I mean, is Connor even a starting running back for him? Maybe flex. But I mean, you got two quarterbacks if you want to sell them, but I mean, those are the guys you're planning to build around. But are you kind of, do you think you can, with the league resetting, can you rebuild next year and use the final year of Burrow and 2 years left of Lawrence, or is it best to just sell? I mean, we'll find out what he wants to do. Still early. T. Wells is, similar spot with, hasn't been looking good, but he's also had a better team than people think. So if he needs to, he's got some guys he can move. Um, he's got Kelsey. Everyone will take Kelsey off his hands if he decides to sell. That should be a bidding war amongst teams. How much you're going to get for an expiring tight end, though, I don't know. I don't know if you get into first territory unless you get into a true bidding war. But
Hard part there is a lot of the theoretical top teams actually have decent tight ends already. To like Tyler's got Waller, Jimmy's got Andrews, maybe Stevens kind of floating through people, but even Zach Ertz is like tight end 4.
right,
So
it's tough
and
there.
even
I mean,
yeah, so
like I
people would
take him.
take him like
Yeah,
heck, he's good enough you could actually start him in a flex,
right.
but it's if you're picking him up because you're going to start him in a flex, it's not quite the same value as I'm picking him up because he's replacing whatever random schmuck I got. Alberto. If Alberto
Right.
was your starter,
So we'll
going from
see. I
that to
mean,
Kelsey versus Kelsey over a flex guy.
he's got Devo too. You get something. It's not the Devo of last year, it doesn't seem, but he's been solid. Not unspectacular, but you get some of those guys. Maybe Miles Sanders, someone likes him. Um, we look at some. I mean, we look at the easy one to talk about. James, if he ever wants to sell Lamar, McCaffrey, AJ Brown, and Stephon Diggs, he's gonna get. A, I mean, if he packages any of them, he's gonna get a massive haul. If he sells them piece by piece, who knows? But he could
But
also
starting
instigate his own fire sale and bidding war against everyone with that. But I mean,
starting 2-1 as the third highest scoring team probably makes it pretty unlikely that route happens unless you get some major injuries to take out a couple of them that
yeah. And the hard part is
they cause
who's there
problems.
to buy. Steven doesn't have anything to buy with. Luke or Jimmy doesn't have anything to buy with it. It's kind of Tyler, or if me and you rebound. But other than that,
Nah, man, I'm gonna be 1-6.
who knows what Jody's plan is? If the rumors are of Jody, retiring and passing his team on are true, he probably doesn't want to look to, use up some of those picks and pay in. So rough to sell there.
I mean, if you double up and take the dynasty pot, even if you had to pay out a couple years, it's still profit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Does it make you the favorite with all those guys? Probably, but it's still not. It's still tight. You look at other teams that sell. I mean, we get to the real fun ones with me and you, and they're both similar issues. I mean, you to the bigger extent is right. Like, all right, if you're gonna sell, maybe Russell Wilson, but he's looked like crap. But I mean, there's a world where you might sell Jonathan Taylor, Justin Jefferson, Pittman, Kittle type of guys if people want them, but that's a lot you got to pay to take. Here's effectively a year and a half of Taylor, year and a half of Jefferson, but realistically, it's 2.5 years for one of them, which makes
Yep.
so getting both off your hands pretty unlikely. You might sell one because you're going to franchise tag the other because you still have 2.5 years of them, but someone trading could be, but you're getting 2.5 years of them essentially because it's a known franchise tag. So that's that's there. But I mean, it's a huge haul. Like I said, there's no way Steven can pay for it. There's no way Jimmy can pay for that. Like I said, you're down to Tyler. You're down to people willing to pay in. You're looking at maybe James if he thinks he can go all in, has the depth. Me if I somehow pull my team's head out of my ass. But do I want to pay for that? Maybe. I don't know. I mean, for the right price, sure. Is it the price you want me to pay? Probably not. But
I have receivers because apparently every rookie receiver this year was good, or at
yep.
least
I mean,
the top 4, pending Jamison Williams coming back from his knee injury.
So if Cooper keeps it up, maybe he's on the block. You know, you never know with Pittman. You got DK down there. Um, Probably a little less likely you trade away some of the rookie guys, but maybe
So
if someone makes
the
a
cheap
great
one for
offer.
people to get is probably DK.
Yeah, I mean you got
Someone's
DK,
big on that
the
expiring.
expiring
Like
deal,
the value of the deal doesn't matter as much anymore because it's
right? Just
expiring,
expiring.
but it's still a hey man, if they're gonna throw 40 times a game, even if it's Geno Smith, that's still a lot of targets there. They can't all go to Tyler Lockett.
Yep. So we'll see. I mean Cooper possibly available too if your rookies keep coming on. He may be kind of expendable to you as a guy to go get and get a little more value for 2 years. That's that's kind of one of the things. So um, we'll see. We'll see there. I mean, I'm in a similar boat with some of the guys where it's like, who are you gonna buy? You gonna buy Najee? I'm like, that's expensive. That's a 3 year, 2.5 year contract with a little bit more. Um, Javante, similar boat. Even if you're hyped up on him, that's gonna be there. So what is that gonna look like?
Yeah, I'll give you Cooper. You give me Najee.
I'm good. So I mean, you got Chase. That's gonna be expensive. Um, so I mean, we'll see. We'll see there. Deontay, semi-affordable. Um, so we'll see on that. But yeah, I mean, it's similar boat. I have less top guys, but maybe Higgins is available for a year and a half. Um, if I fall out, Henry 2 years, but original contract. Otherwise, I got broken quarterbacks for guys I need, but otherwise, there's not much. Robert Woods probably available for pretty cheap because what am I gonna do with him? Same thing, but yeah, I mean we're both similar boats. If we fall out, I don't know what. It's hard to buy from us unless you have a bunch of assets, which is Tyler or one of us or someone digging deep to try to build deep. But
Wouldn't be the first time I punted a season early or tried to. Thank you, Luke, for throwing Austin Eckler in that trade to still then come on and carry me the second half of that year.
yeah, and I mean as we look for outside of Jody, everyone's trying to set up for 2 years, and that's one of the problems when I look at my team and trying to buy something. It's like say James falls out of it and I go to buy his team. Let's say I give up all of my draft picks theoretically to go get Lamar and McCaffrey, Diggs, AJ Brown. Yeah, I'm probably the favorite, but what the fuck am I gonna do next year? Like, I just
The
mortgaged,
league reset. You
which
never
is
know.
interesting.
You know,
But
you can find if you can find some deals in there. You never. It'll be interesting. It's gonna be interesting off season when that kind of comes up and just how everyone goes when it's was it like half the league almost is a free agent.
more, I think the only two teams that are like locked in for next year are mine and yours. I think everyone else is majority free agents. So, I mean, that's where I look and go like I'm kind of locked in. Like if I go buy JT, cool, that makes sense for me. But it's like if I go pay a ton for Lamar, it's like I need to make sure I have enough assets to go buy next year on whatever expiring deals are there to go for a second time too, if I luck my way through it. So we'll see. I think the hot stove is gonna keep ramping up as we get into the next couple weeks here. We got 6 more weeks before the trade deadline hits, so I think it'll be exciting. I know there's been rumblings of trade offers going around, some good, some not so good. Um, so we'll see. It's early on. Some people are still hesitant to sell. Um,
As is established, I'm a trade addict. If you're interested, I'll trade anybody. Hell, I'm a Cowboys fan who traded Ezekiel Elliott off a 4-year deal.
Hey, I'm sure that Steven's going to come off you that final third round pick for JT tomorrow. So,
No.
all right. So, thanks for listening, whoever decided to listen in, and we'll see you guys next week.